Thanks for joining us, Tertius. So I've watched your company from the time when it was listed up to date. And the other day you had a trading update and I watched the stock zoom up 71% and then I've seen it come down. My sense is that, we talk a lot about your industry and what this future we all speak about is going to look like. But very few of us seem to understand what exactly it looks like. Do you get a sense that even the investment community as well struggle to understand what you guys do and what you are talking about when you talk about these futures that we all seem unable to grasp?
Thanks for the time. I think that is exactly why we took 4Sight end of last year on this new venture, and we formalized our new strategy. And it's all to do with the companies that was acquired in the 2018-2019 space by the previous board, and when it was started by the first CEO, Anthony van Rensburg. And he had this vision of creating this perfect or ideal fourth industrial revolution company that can really bring, in those days we talked about the OT and the IT worlds, the operational technologies and the information technologies that can bring that together and really deliver on this strategy. The company went a bit off track for everybody that was acquired into an investment holding that everybody was just put in silos, and then we brought it back again to really deliver this. And since we started formulating this strategy in November last year, we had a big session with our new board and excellent people on the board. If you check their CVs on our website, they helped us a lot. And we had a whole day of presenting all the business units from the smallest to the biggest and really putting together. I've sent you guys a slide that's really explaining the convergence of all these technologies. If you can maybe show that now.
Yeah.
But really bringing that worlds together. And we added another phase or another pillar into that, and that's the business environment. So those just go back, the circle slide.
Right.
The BE, IT and OT world, as we call it.
Yeah.
And the operational technologies, that's really the hardware side, the physical world of operations, factories running, mines running,
right.
All IoT, all that stuff that we measure and bring together. And we start there with the automation of the real world and simulate that before you even start building a mine today.
Right.
And then the information technology.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
So I wanted to understand, because one of the things that attracted me to this story was the way you summed up where we are in terms of technological advancement. And you speak, for instance, for the last 40 years, you say, we have seen things that we had not seen before in exciting innovations. You say in the 1980s we had big computing and large mainframes. 90s saw the era of the PC, and then networking and data sharing, and 2000s brought the internet and sharing information. And then 2010s, proliferation of mobile devices and apps. And now we are talking the automation era, and we are talking what you are now calling Enterprise 5.0 companies. Now, that's part of what you were trying to show us there. Now,
yes,
in terms of what that future is going to bring us, you are suggesting that there is more to come. So explain the graph that you have just put up there in the context of what the future company that you are, I'm going to call it an animal that you are saying is called the Enterprise 5.0, is likely to look like, and the components of it.
Yes, so that Enterprise 5 concept that we formulated, basically, it all rests on that pillars of digital transformation, on the fourth industrial revolution.
Right.
And it's all to do with the people, the customers, operations, finance, and then innovation, the product of a company. So we're really pulling all those different disparate sets of data together. And the whole automation or autonomous business of the future that we call Enterprise 5, well, it's basically driven with data. And we all heard the story a lot, data is the oil of the new economy.
Yeah.
I think the whole COVID disaster expedited that for businesses. I mean, within 2 days, a lot of businesses had to go remote, and some of them were not ready.
Yeah.
And that's why we are really seeing good growth, and our staff complement even increased 6% in these COVID times as well.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that, whether that changes in your strategy in terms of where you want to go into the future, or whether this is a big opportunity that has just come knocking to your door.
That's a big opportunity. I mean, the innovation around that. I mean, within a week, we built a COVID app that we deployed internally ourselves first, and then into our customer space as well. That can actually measure and track all that stuff for you. Because I still say that the COVID disaster should have been managed with data, and that's the key to everything. You know, if you could have identified and isolated the cases immediately and notified people immediately, you know,
Yeah.
that if the world would have been a better place today. But we are where we are today.
Are you able to build that to scale to cover the whole country?
Our country is quite big.
Yeah.
Now in pockets, you know, luckily we a very big Azure Microsoft partner, and we use all those tools available for us there. So there's no limitation on the hardware side. It's just the rollout and training and the operational aspect of that. Yes.
Yeah. So now, in terms of where you are going to go in the future, explain to us where the engines for growth for your business in particular are going to come from.
So the top part of that circle that we showed, that business environment, that's, I think, really the platform and the easiest way of getting into this digital world. And a big headache today for businesses is, what do you know what your people do when they're outside there working?
Yeah.
A lot of our staff, you know, we are very busy, but can you really monitor what is happening with people, or your people? Are they as productive as they say they are? And that is where the business environment is really giving you that statistics. You know, a thing like Microsoft Teams and the Office
Yeah.
365 productivity statistics that you get on how people respond on emails or in meetings or whatever. That productivity
Yeah.
measures and statistics that you need to manage your business, but then to integrate that into the operational IT side as well, that
Yeah.
you can really measure effectively and grow your business and to take corrective action very soon.
Quickly, Tertius, does that apply to all industries?
Every single industry, especially government. I think we've seen a company, a government institution like CIPC, the company registration office, that was offline. You couldn't even change the director name, you know, and that is really, you know, unacceptable for business economy to grow. You still see today the estate agency affairs board that's not online. The people are not working, or you get an answer saying, you know, that person is only coming once a week, you know, and that's totally acceptable where we are today. And South Africa, we are very, very tech savvy people, and we've got a big job to do in government as well, in public sector, to deliver towards our people and the citizens on this.